Great. So we'll go ahead and get started. It's nice to see you all here today. My name is Maddie Lindeman. I am a co-director of outreach here at a part of Society of Women Engineers, and we're an organization that's part of an international organization, but there's a chapter here at Case Western Reserve University. So today we're going to be talking about discovering your engineering match, kind of to stay festive with like Valentine's Day. But let's go ahead and get started. Yeah, so the agenda for today. So we're gonna meet our panelists. So these are fellow Case Western students who are majoring in engineering. And then we'll get into discussion about, what engineering is about, kind of from a general perspective, and then all of the different fields of engineering as well. And then we'll talk about the organization that we're all a part of, so Society of Women Engineers, and how you can be involved, especially on a soon-to-be collegiate level. And then we'll go over a poll that we did with some of our engineers and provide advice as to what you might expect as an engineering student from our perspective. And then we'll be taking a quiz. And I know personally in high school, when I hear quiz, it just sounds terrible, but it's not one of those quizzes. It's more of like a kind of fill out questions based on your interest. And we'll see, what kind of engineering might align with your interests. And then finally, we'll talk about the power of mentorship. So what having a mentor means and how mentorship is really beneficial in terms of navigating the engineering world. So first, we're gonna meet some of our panelists today. So I'll go ahead and go first. So again, my name is Maddie Lindeman. I'm actually a super senior, so this is my 5th year in college. I actually got a bachelor's in mechanical engineering last May, and then I decided to stay on an extra year and get my master's. So I was initially interested in engineering because I really liked physics in high school, and really liked how you could explain the world in terms of like motion and forces. And I thought that was really interesting. And so that kind of initially got me interested in engineering in college. And when I entered college, I really fell in love with mechanical design. So figuring out, the way things work and how you can design something to make things work better, I guess. And so that's how I really got into mechanical engineering and have loved it ever since. So Grace, would you like to go next?
Sure. So my name is Grace. I'm a 4th year in mechanical and aerospace engineering, so I'm a double major, but I'm going to be kind of like Maddie, where I'll stay in 5th year and then to do my master's degree in aerospace. So I was interested in engineering because I always wanted to work in space travel. Like, I've always wanted to do the aerospace industry. I've known that for a very long time. It's just what my passion is. So when I was doing research, figuring out what college I wanted to go to and what I wanted to major in, aerospace engineering seemed like the perfect fit for me. And Case Western also seemed like the perfect fit for me because they have a really great engineering program. So I really love engineering because I love the collaborative problem-solving environment. I love being able to brainstorm off of other people's ideas and like working together to create a new solution to something. It's way more fun than working alone. So I love working on teams in engineering and creating solutions to all different kinds of problems.
You want to go next, Lena?
Yeah, sure. Hi, guys. My name is Lena Shin. I'm a 1st year, so this is my 2nd semester here at Case, and my major is material science and engineering. So essentially, I got interested in engineering because I think it is the perfect application of math and science. I've always been particularly interested with numbers and the sciences, so I'm like, why not try something that's not maybe towards the physical sciences, but more applicable to the real world. And I would say that I definitely chose material science. I had a pretty strong interest in it as soon as I came into college. Because I was really interested in the physical properties of things around me, not necessarily, I guess, creating them in a mechanical sense, but I wanted to contribute to the engineering process with materials.
And finally, Rachel.
Hi everyone, my name is Rachel and I'm a junior here at CASE, and I'm actually a polymer science and engineering student, which is a form of material like what Lena was talking about. And I became interested in engineering mainly because of my interest in math and science. I was always interested in the medical fields, but I didn't feel like I could quite be a doctor. So I actually was very interested in biomedical engineering, which is engineering in the medical field. But I eventually switched to polymer engineering once I got to CASE because I realized that I was really interested in biomaterials, which are materials that you can use in your body. So that's why I chose polymer science. And if you don't know, polymers are plastics, anything from water bottles to TV screens, all involve polymers.
All right, so next is just a general overview of engineering. So I found this on this definition on the Link Engineering website, which I found to be a really good resource to go to if you want to get kind of a further introduction into what it's like to be an engineer. But Link Engineering says that engineering is the systematic application of knowledge and experience to solve problems and protect and improve lives. It takes a thought or an abstract idea and translates it into reality. So I guess personally, or maybe all around the table as an engineer, I really like diagrams versus reading. Like I find pictures to be really effective. So kind of in more of a diagram format, it involves taking a problem and applying different engineering tools, whether it's researching the problem, collaborating with different engineers, doing a testing or analysis, maybe with like software or different types of like testing apparatuses, or I guess in my field, even it involves like creating prototypes of something, which is like creating something on a smaller scale and testing it and seeing how it works. So there are a lot of different engineering tools that you can apply to a problem to be able to come up with a solution. And I put that S in parentheses there because there are so many different solutions to a problem. And there's really not like in the engineering field in general, there's really not like the right answer to a problem. There are a lot of different answers to the problem. And kind of what's part of the art of engineering is choosing kind of the best solution based on the resources you have. And I guess personally as an engineer, I find that really cool to be able to find a solution that way. So within the field of engineering, within engineering, there are a ton of fields. So the fields that I've listed here are some of the different departments found at Case Western Reserve University. But there are fields that go beyond this, and there are even some field departments here that I haven't listed. But just to name a few different kinds of fields of engineering, there's aerospace engineering. So again, kind of part of Grace's major, which involves like developing high flying technologies. So like aircraft and spacecraft and satellites, studying space travel. There's also like chemical engineering. So being able to apply chemistry to make like large batches of different substances, like that's one application of chemical engineering. I'm sure there are a lot of other applications, but there are a lot of different industries you can work in within chemical engineering, from like pharmaceuticals and renewable energy and food production. So a lot of different applications. Biomedical engineering involves like the design of devices, technology, and tools to help people live healthier lives. So part of the healthcare industry. Civil engineering involves like transforming the world by creating infrastructure that supports a safe and sustainable society. So like building bridges, like, or designing bridges, such as like the Mackinac Bridge that you see here. Material science engineering involves like exploring material structure, material properties, and processing to see how different types of materials and creating new materials can impact many different technologies like smartphones and car parts, satellites, even solar panels. So, and then like finally, there's like electrical engineering, and like one avenue of electrical engineering, there are other avenues as well, but involves like circuit design. So creating circuits from different components like resistors and capacitors and batteries and all of the like. So a lot of different fields that you see here. So I guess, did any panelists, do you guys want to make any comments on this towards like a specific field, or like what you do personally within your field of engineering, kind of like what your specific application is?
I do want to mention that mechanical engineering and aerospace engineering often come hand in hand. A lot of students at Case Western double major, like I am, in mechanical and aerospace because they are so similar. So if you think of mechanical engineering as like a very broad field of engineering, you can do a lot with a mechanical engineering degree. You can really work in any of these other fields. So because they just talk about moving systems, like that's the basic idea of mechanical. So aerospace engineering is like a smaller category within mechanical engineering. So that's what I like about mechanical engineering, is that like I can kind of do whatever I want after I graduate. But that's what I like about it.
I can also say
Yeah,
that,
I guess like,
oh,
go ahead, Rachel.
I can also say that like biomedical engineering combines a lot of these different kinds of engineering to produce medical devices, drug delivery systems. So like electrical engineering, material science, chemical engineering can all, and mechanical engineering can all contribute to biomedical engineering, which is cool how interdisciplinary these engineering fields can be.
So yeah, so just like continuing off of that, like even if you go, I just went into Google and typed like different engineering fields, and there are these articles that come up. They're like 40 different types, 50 different types of engineering. And I'm saying this to not like overwhelm you in terms of like how broad engineering is. I'm saying it in terms of like, if you're really interested in like applying math and science and working with other engineers, you can find a type of engineering field that really aligns with your interests and what you're passionate about. And I don't know, I find that a good situation to be able to study something that you're really passionate about, because then it makes the studying easier in a way. And I guess, as our other panelists were saying, that fields of engineering, there are like subfields of engineering within the main field. And that's where it can become interdisciplinary within different fields of engineering. So for instance, at Case, within our biomedical engineering department, there are different tracks that you can go down. So you can do biomedical computing and analysis, biomechanics, which would be like a crossover between biomedical engineering and mechanical engineering, biomedical devices and instrumentation, and like biomaterials, so material science and biomedical engineering. So even when you choose a field of engineering that you can go into, there are subspecialties within that engineering field that allow you to really find a specific field of interest that also supports whatever you're passionate about too. So I find that really cool and great that the general field of engineering is flexible in that way. So I guess secondly, I'm going to talk about Society of Women Engineers. So Society of Women Engineers, or SWE, is actually an international organization. So we're the world's largest advocate and catalyst for change for women in engineering and technology. And that description's on the SWE website. So the mission of SWE is to be able to empower women to achieve full potential in careers as engineers and leaders, expand the image of engineering and technology professions as a positive force in improving the quality of life, and demonstrate the value of diversity and inclusion. So, all great aspects that are part of the mission of this organization. And so you can get involved with SWE on both the collegiate level and then, outside of college when you start your career at a company, you can find SWE chapters at the professional level as well. So within the collegiate level is the Case Western Reserve chapter, which we're all a part of. And if you ever want to find out more about our chapter, there's the our website, which is CWRU.SWE.org. So feel free to go on there and contact us if you have any questions. So next, we did a SWE member poll. Just to kind of give you all an idea of what it's like to be an engineering student in college, we polled our members and asked them, is there anything I wish I had known about being an engineering student before heading into college? What you see here is a word map. So I took all of the answers and I put them into like this word map and generated this diamond looking thing. But the larger words are the words that occurred more frequently. And I don't know, I find these kind of word maps to be pretty cool. But yeah, moving forward. So a lot of words on this slide. And this presentation is being recorded. So if you want to go back and really dig into these slides, totally feel free. But just to kind of talk about a few responses, the first one talks about how I personally thought that in order to be a successful engineering student, you need to have the knowledge and experience before you enter college. This is something that has been proven false with my own experience as a first-year engineering student. There's nothing to worry about if you have the confidence and determination to do well in classes and to seek out opportunities on campus and beyond. And just want to say, personally from my experience, I also felt that same way. A lot of people talk about how oh, getting an engineering degree, it's super hard and super stressful. And, they have weed out classes every year. But so coming into college, pursuing an engineering degree, I found, those courses, they seemed really intimidating for them to be at the college level. But I was really, personally from my experience, I was pleasantly surprised that when you go into your first year courses, the professors know that you're transferring from high school to college. And, that's kind of the expectation that these first year courses kind of support that transition. So as long as you're, willing to put in the work and perhaps work with other students or reach out to the professors or use resources, even finding a tutor or working with the TA. Those are all really good resources to be able to help you with the transition from high school level courses to college level courses. And so, yeah, I guess the same for this person's testimony that first year courses don't have to be super intimidating. And then the second one was find dope study groups early. Everyone's looking to meet new people, and most of the time people in your classes become your closest friends. I found this to be so true too. I guess personally, like I took a class in circuits, which is like part of electrical engineering, and met one of my closest friends there. We still talk to each other. Actually going to FaceTime with her on Saturday, but that's besides the point. But we really like bonded together, like doing circuits homework, and going through those homeworks together and kind of like bouncing ideas off of each other, and getting stuff done for school, but also like making friends at the same time. I find that was like a really good combination. And then kind of this second set of answers, this one response, managing your time is different for everyone. You just have to find a schedule that works for you, but stay on top of it and don't procrastinate. So yeah, I think time management in college is a super important skill to develop, because in college, you don't really have like a rigid schedule. Like some days you may have like 1 or 2 classes, but at least for me on occasion, like there were some days I had no classes at all. And it's like really easy to, you know, maybe go and watch Netflix all day, but developing some time management skills is important, and making sure you're getting things done, getting things in on time. I know for me, like a helpful tool that I use are to-do lists. So just checking things off is super satisfying for me, and that can be a good tool for, you know, other people as well. And time management can also help you, you know, later on when you start working after school. So, and then finally, engineering is all about teamwork, you know, making sure to make good friends in your program and learn to work well with teammates you may have not met before. Yeah, just as an engineer, you'll tend to be working on a lot of teams with different people of different backgrounds, and it's really good to know how to communicate to other engineers and have good communication skills. And that's something that you can develop in college. And again, that like time management can transfer to a career beyond school. So did any of the panelists, do you guys have anything to add to what I wish I had known about being an engineering student before heading into college?
Yeah, I would like to say that kind of with the first piece of advice about like the first classes you take and you thought you had to like know a lot. I was also very going into it because I knew some people who were like, oh, I build robots in my free time. I read articles about the science of black holes in my free time. I know all about this stuff already. And I did not do that in my free time. Like, I'm a normal person. I like to watch Netflix in my free time, you know? So I was like nervous that I wasn't as into it as I needed to be. Like, I felt like my whole life needed to revolve around engineering if I wanted to be successful in college. And I was nervous that I didn't know enough. And I just want to second that that is not true at all. Like, I've been very successful in my classes, and you're here to learn. Like, that's the purpose of going to school. You're not here to prove to everyone else I already know everything. That's not the point of college. So I just want to say, like, you can have other hobbies and interests besides engineering and still be a great engineer.
Yeah, and I just kind of wanted to provide some insight about the transition from high school to college, especially during the COVID period, because that is what I went through last semester. So definitely it's going to be hard to meet new people because of social distancing or just online classes. And I don't know how long online classes are going to continue for, but it's definitely important to create study groups and just to start meeting your fellow engineers. You're all going through courses together, whether it's calculus or physics, and you're definitely going to, you know, need that kind of support, especially when you're so isolated from everyone. So I would say definitely put your best foot forward and try to meet as many people as you can virtually or in person, just to, I guess, create that kind of support system that's going to sustain you throughout your entire career in college.
All right. So the next thing that we're going to do is the quiz, the dreaded quiz. So there's a QR code here. So this quiz is, again, it's like it's created by Lockheed Martin, which they're actually an aerospace company. And it's just figuring out, like, based on a couple of quick questions, what type of engineering field might align with your interests. So we can all go ahead and maybe just take like a minute or so to take the quiz real quick and figure out which engineering field aligns with our interests. So I'll take it along with you guys. Yes, I can put the link in the chat. Or I thought I could. There we go. Whoop. All right. So like the quizzes from Buzzfeed, these quizzes may not be entirely accurate. It's just kind of a good starting point to see, hey, what what field should maybe I look into, and maybe that can be kind of a pathway to other fields. I guess, for instance, they said I should be an environmental engineer, but I think it's a little late, so I'll stick with mechanical engineering. But I guess leading off of that, so navigating the engineering field, kind of, what specific type of field of engineering you want to pursue, that can be overwhelming, and there can be a lot of unknowns. And one way to combat that is to find a mentor, find someone who works in or studies a field of engineering that you're interested in, and meet with them. Ask questions, learn about their experiences, what they did in college and what they're currently pursuing in their career, and see if that aligns with your interests. And And I think it's also important to just be able to stay in contact with your mentor too, because over time, maybe you start to ask different questions depending on, kind of what phase in life you are. I guess from personally, I've had an engineering mentor through high school and college as well. And it's been really good to still like keep in contact with them because yeah, my questions have definitely changed over time. And it's just been great to be able to go to that resource. So kind of going off of that, so we have a mentorship opportunity for you. So we asked some of our members at SWE to sign up if they want to be a part of this mentorship opportunity. And we actually had a really good sign up process. So all of the fields of engineering you see here, those are the fields of engineering that our mentors are currently studying. So a lot of variety here. So I guess a second opportunity, a second QR code, if you are interested in having an engineering mentor, you can use the QR code below. Erin, again, I'll put it in the chat too. And with that sign up sheet, feel free to put down as many fields of engineering that you're interested as you want. So it can be more than one field of engineering. It can definitely be outside of the answer the Buzzfeed or the Lockheed Martin quiz gave to you. So yeah, we'll just take a quick minute to do that too, if you want to. So yeah, so that ends the content of our presentation today, but I just wanted to give you all kind of one final opportunity if you're interested in learning about engineering and like different people's stories in engineering. We have another event going on this Friday that actually Grace is in charge of, so I'll let her talk a little bit more about that.
Sure. And actually, Rachel has also been helping me plan it too. So, but yeah, it's our e-week virtual luncheon. Normally for Engineers Week is a nationally celebrated week to empower engineers, especially aspiring engineers. So at Case Western, our SWE chapter every year hosts our e-week luncheon. Normally it's in person. We invite a guest speaker, provide lunch, and there's a nice Q&A, but this year obviously it's virtual. So yeah, on Friday, 12:45 to 2, we are having a speaker who is an engineer at 3M. And I don't know if you're familiar with 3M, but they're a pretty big company. They make a lot of adhesive materials. They make command strips, I believe. So if you've ever used a command strip, 3M is what brought you that. So she's an engineer there, and she'll be talking about her experiences as an engineer. She was a Case Western Reserve University alum. So yeah, and that event is open to the general public. So if you guys are free and interested in hearing the life of an engineer who has been in the industry for 15 years, a little bit different perspective than college students, but if you want to hear about that, you're welcome to join. We encourage you to come. And yeah, Rachel just put the link for the registration in the chat if you are interested.
All right, that's the end of the presentation today. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat and we'll answer them for you. And yeah, if you want to copy down any of the links as well, to be able to go to those. But it was great being able to present you all today. I hope you guys got something out of this presentation, and yeah, just let us know if you have any questions.